What's up? We're back. Another one. Clunker connoisseurs of clunk. I'm Max.
I'm Ross.
And we just picked up this absolute gem of a V8 Volvo XC90.
It's nice.
I think, what did we pay for this thing? $1,900?
Yeah, after fees, it was $2,075.
Yeah, just over $2,000. Super clean, drives great.
It's in great shape.
I think 2 owners. Somebody really loved this thing, and it's got the 4.4 liter Yamaha V8, which is an absolute little ripper for how big these things are. So anyway, we're on our way to the Springs right now to pick up something not nearly as nice as this. It is a what is it, like an 03 or something?
It's a 2000 Dodge Stratus with about 180,000 miles.
It is a glorious box, that's for sure. I think we paid $775 for that one. But that'll just be a quick flip. It looked pretty clean. Says it runs and drives good. That's all that matters with the cheap cars like that. But so I know y'all wanted to see the Dodge Stratus that we paid $700 and some change for, and probably some more footage of the Volvo too. But as soon as the Stratus hit the ground here, it was pretty much sold. I mean, we brought it in, nothing exciting, ran and drove great, AC was cold. We just vacuumed it out, and probably 20 minutes later, we had somebody come in the door that wanted to take it home. And the XC90 sold that same afternoon to Zach, who you guys met in the last video. He just happened to be here and decided he liked it and wanted to take that one home. So that one's gone too, but stay tuned. The rest of the flips we go over in this video do not quite go as smooth as those ones did. What's up? It's a new day. I am heading to St. George, Utah in the heavy Chevy with a trailer on the back to pick up this glorious piece of garbage of a Nissan Altima we got for $1,300. Just came through the Eisenhower Tunnel on I-70 in the heavy Chevy. And last time we didn't make it that far in this thing. We finally figured out what was going on with this thing. Pressure tested the exhaust before the cats. 9 PSI of back pressure this thing had. So the cats on both banks were completely plugged up. And that's what was just strangling this thing down and why it was so weak. So replace the catalytic converters, and $1,500 later in carb compliant cats, because we're in Colorado and you got to put the expensive ones in them now. This thing runs like an absolute dream. And we also put a massive transmission cooler in this thing. And so no more overheating transmission. The engine's not strangled down anymore. So I made it up all those hills with an empty trailer, and the transmission was like right at 155 degrees the whole time, which is like perfect empty. And when I'm loaded, it'll hopefully be around 180 pulling all these hills. So it should be absolutely perfect. Did a bunch of other little things while we were in there. So like we're in it for another $2,500 of just like deferred maintenance and catalytic converters on this thing. But man, it runs like an absolute dream now. All right, well, we made it, got the car. I got in late last night. Didn't have much time to film or do a will it start, because it looked like they were having kind of a busy morning, and so I just wanted to get out of their way as quickly as possible. But we got the beautiful Altima on the trailer behind me, and I'm about to jump back on the highway and head back. Seems like it runs pretty good. It's super disgusting, and so we'll show you all that when we get it back to the shop. But it's going to be one heck of a detail, but it runs good, and that's all that matters. I think we only paid like $1,300 for this thing, so it should be a pretty good one.
What's up, people? It's been a long time. We've been real busy over here, slacking on the videos. But I'm checking in alone today. Max is actually on a pickup for another one of our vehicles. So I'm at the shop alone today. We have a 2008 Saturn Outlook over there. It's just an Acadia, the GMC, but it's honestly really nice, super well optioned. It's got a backup camera, dual climate, sunroof, all that good stuff. But this thing honestly is really nice. It's in fantastic shape. Whoever had this thing, they loved it. Third row, all that jazz. We had a 2004 Miata just a few days ago. Max is gonna be mad that I forgot to film a clip of it. But it was pretty beat up. The paint was super faded. It wasn't in great shape, but it ran awesome. Motor was super healthy, 130K on it. We picked it up from a dealer buddy of ours, and we sold it just as is. We didn't really do anything to it. We made a pretty good chunk of change on it. We did okay on it. We sold it for $4,000, which is well below what most Miatas go for. So we did all right on that one. And today I'm working on a 2010 Nissan Altima 2.5. It is disgusting. What I should have done is take a video of the back seat before I took it out and cleaned it. But you can see with how much junk is everywhere, you can imagine how bad it was. I mean, in the cup holders, yuck. Gonna get banned from YouTube for showing that monstrosity. This back seat looks like new now. It was covered in what we can only assume to be baby formula because we found a pacifier in the little pocket on the back of the passenger seat. So it was super gross, but I took care of it. It's getting cleaned up. That thing will be posted and ready to go by the end of today. It's got a check engine light, but it just needs an O2 sensor. And we'll get that taken care of. Max is currently picking up our 2007 Saturn Ion. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. We have a friend who unfortunately had a car accident not that long ago and needs something cheap and reliable to get around in. So that's probably gonna go to him, and we'll keep you updated on that, see how much we make on it, but should be a quick and easy deal.
It is a new day, and we are once again heading to Utah to pick up another glorious shit box that we purchased online, sight unseen. Saturn Ion, 07 model. That one's in Bountiful, Utah, which is north of Salt Lake City. So I'm on my way to Bountiful, Utah right now to go grab that guy in the heavy Chevy with a trailer on the back and drive it back, and I should be back tomorrow afternoon sometime. Just picked up the keys here at Performance Honda in Bountiful, Utah, and it is hot as balls. I don't even remember what color this thing is, so I'm gonna kind of look around and find it. Another Miata. Go sell that one for 3,500 bucks too. All right, well, I'm gonna dig. Oh, there she is. I see it. Actually looks pretty clean. I think we'll be into this one for around 2 after getting it back to the shop. So hopefully it runs and drives good. It said it did in the description, but y'all know how that goes. Time for our favorite bit. Will it start? Ah, started right up. Man, this thing sounds great. We're getting lucky with these things. Now our job's almost getting too easy. Just kidding. No, ignore I said that. We love the easy ones. Well, we're all the way in the back of the lot. Also got a low coolant light. Weird. I'll go check that out. But we're all the way in the back of the lot, so I'm gonna go pull it around front, get it loaded up, and head back to the shop. Well, the expansion tank is pretty much completely empty under the hood, but there's no obvious leaks, so who knows where it's actually going or why the tank is empty. I guess that's something we'll have to dig into and see. But once we get it back to the shop, we can top it off and actually drive it, see if it's leaking out of somewhere. And if the head gasket's blown to pieces, then I guess we're arbitrating it and hoping to get some money back. But we're gonna see. It's not smoking or anything. It seems to drive good, so I don't know where all the coolant's going. All right, well, we are on the road heading out of Bountiful, Utah, which is basically just North Salt Lake. It's about 7 hours home. Got the Saturn loaded up, and when I was loading it on the trailer and getting underneath and tying it down, you could see that it was definitely leaking coolant from somewhere. So I don't think it's a head gasket thing. You can see where coolant's running down the frame rail, and it's not like terrible, but it's definitely not great. And the position of where it's running down the frame and like down the front of the engine, at least from underneath, makes me think that it's a water pump, or the water pump that's leaking, which I don't know what it's going to take to do a water pump on this thing, if that's what's wrong. Sometimes they're driven by the timing chain, and so you're like, at that point you're doing a timing chain job just to do the water pump. So I really hope that's not the case, or at least if it is a water pump, it's just like a regular easy water pump that's driven by the serpentine belt. But when we get it back, we're going to check it out and take a look and see where it's actually leaking from. And so we'll show you that tomorrow, which will be in about 10 seconds for you. Well, you remember when we said like, oh, these things are great and they're so cheap and we'll make some good money and, you know, whatever?
They're not great.
Well, yeah, they're all, well, not all of them. This one's pretty good.
It's pretty nice.
That one's shit. And that one's shit.
Super shit.
Yeah, it's bad. It's like, it is pissing CVT fluid and power steering fluid like all over the ground. The transmission's basically empty. All over the exhaust. It's smoking. And this one's leaking out of the water pump. And of course, it's a timing chain driven water pump. And so to do it without doing the chains, they make a special tool to hold it on there. So probably gonna end up doing a water pump on that one. And this one, I mean,
it's cheap. It's going. We're gonna try and fix the power steering leak and tighten some things up down there. But the transmission fluid, the CVT fluid, there's no fixing that. It's coming out of the input shaft.
Yep, it's coming like right out of the bell housing, and so it's like that's a drop the transmission kind of repair, and we are not that kind of shop. So we're just going to disclose everything on this one and sell it for as much as we can and try to get as much of our money back out of it as possible. And then whoever buys it, you know, will maybe want to drop the trans because they'll get a pretty nice Ultima for basically nothing. But
the rest of it's fine.
The rest of it's fine. This one we are trying to fix, the Saturn Ion, and so we'll see how that goes. And then we just now, like 5 minutes ago, bought a Toyota Camry. So
it does not appear to be broken at all. We'll see.
Well, the inspection said these two weren't broken either, and obviously that wasn't true. So who knows how it's actually going to go. But we'll check in tomorrow, or what'll end up being the next video, about the Camry and the process of that. We got to do some paint work on that, so that'll be kind of exciting. But
we can display our paint skills for once.
Yeah, I am a serious assassin with a can of spray paint, so y'all are going to be impressed. But anyway, we got burned big time on both of these. So thanks for watching, and we'll let you know how it turns out in the next one.